They want Watson. They want Watson bad, man. I don't know what the. I don't know what to say about this anymore, man. I mean, not only do I think Deshaun Watson is innocent, all right, I think that I think this is nothing more than a witch hunt. They're trying to discredit and stain the name of a guy who's kept his nose clean since he's been in the league, and kind of, I guess this is their way of forcing players to adhere to the wants and the demands of the organizations. Deshaun Watson isn't the first superstar caliber player to want out of a small situation, a small city situation, whatever, small market situation. The Houston Texans are floundering right now, and they're trying to hold on to whoever they can. So right now, they're trying to paint Deshaun Watson as some kind of monster to kind of say, well, this is the reason why, he's not in Houston anymore, because, he's a monster. He didn't excuse my French, he done fucked his way out of Houston. It has nothing to do with the bad coaching, for the past few years or whatever. It has nothing to do with the terrible team management. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're great at drafting talent. They're just not so good at holding on to said talent. They've had some great players come out of Houston, but for some reason they can't seem to hold on to anybody. Everybody is leaving, or they're trading everybody away. This is weird, man. And I think they were trying to strong arm Deshaun into staying, especially with Culley being the new coach last year. They wanted Deshaun to stay. Deshaun refused to give in, most likely, and this is just me speculating, but if I'm going off of the severe reaction or the severe circumstances that this situation is developing into, and my strong reaction to said circumstances, it only leads me to one conclusion. Houston tried to strong arm Deshaun into staying. This is why David Culley came out and said when he first got the job, I only came here to coach. I came here primarily to coach Deshaun and to try to help the team win with him as quarterback. And Deshaun wanted no parts. They even hired a black coach because I guess they were trying to mend some fences with Deshaun. Deshaun he was not going to have none of it, man. He was not going to have none of it. And I don't know what it is, man. I don't know why they're continuing to do this. They're continuing to shit all over the reputation of these young black athletes, destroying their name, and it's for no good. It's for no reason other than to force a certain outcome, and it's sad, man. So Deshaun Watson got a 6-game suspension. Roger Goodell didn't like this. He wanted a full year suspension. The only reason why I could think that 6 games isn't good enough in a full year is what they want, is because, well, for 2 reasons. And this is just me thinking about it. I'm only speculating here. But one reason is this is a message to the rest of the NFL. Listen, if we can destroy the image of one of the league's brightest young superstars, who had a pretty positive and favorable image in the minds of fans, not just Houston Texans fans, all fans. I mean, I can't think of one fan base that hates Deshaun Watson. Maybe maybe somebody in their division, maybe, hated him. You know, Jaguars, Texans. I said Titans and Texans at the same time. I'm sorry. Jaguars, Titans, and the Colts. Maybe their fan bases don't like them so much, but that's purely because of a competitive thing. It has nothing to do with the kids. It has nothing to do with his image or his brand or whatever. You know, like some shit that he did off the field. You know, he's not EDP going to accept cupcakes from little kids or some shit. He's not doing anything crazy like that. All right. I mean, he hasn't been involved in any drug issues, no violence issues, nothing. I mean, this kid's been pretty good. I mean, some would say he's been a remarkable young representation of the NFL. But for some reason, man, because he doesn't want to be in that small market, terribly run organization anymore, for some reason that's good enough to character assassinate him. And when reports came out that Antonio Brown was facing some pretty egregious charges or whatever, or accusations, I defended him as well because it just didn't make any sense. I sat back, I let the story unfold, I read what I could, I listened to what I could, and it just didn't make any sense. You know, like just to go back to talk about that situation again. When I did my video, I said, how does a guy who's in his late 20s, early 30s, whatever, making millions of dollars, who is the top athlete at his position in the only professional football league? I don't count Canadian football, to be honest. The only professional football, like he's one of the greatest wide receivers of this generation. One can make an argument he might be one of the most talented wide receivers in the history of the game. I mean, I know some people are going to have some issues with that, but Antonio Brown was the real deal. I mean, I'm talking about you're talking about Terrell Owens caliber ability or a Jerry Rice caliber ability in a small frame of a Steve Smith. You know, like, you're talking about elite talent, great route running, fantastic releasing ability where he can get behind defenders and the ball is just in the perfect fucking place because he's wide the hell open. I mean, I've seen Antonio Brown make some pretty incredible plays in Pittsburgh. So when he wanted to leave, and all of a sudden, that's when his former trainer wanted to come out and say that he sexually abused her and all this other. It made no sense, man. And then it came out that they had a relationship. Even if it was just a carnal relationship, they had a relationship, which immediately cast a doubt over all this shit. And then another accuser came out. Once people started poking holes in this shit, then another accuser came out and said, "Well, he did this to me too," like just to kill this dude's reputation. And now, instead of people looking at Antonio Brown like he's one of the greatest wide receivers we've ever had the privilege of watching play football, people are looking at him like he's a fucking monster. How they're looking at Deshaun Watson now. Deshaun is a monster. And this situation is just far goddamn fetched. I don't believe it, not one bit. You mean to tell me this dude, he allegedly assaulted over 20 women, and nobody saw dollar signs like, all right, he made me do this to him. Boom, that's the bag right there. That is your payday right there. That is your payday right there. Anytime a celebrity or somebody settles out of court, I'm thinking, what the fuck was the other person thinking? That is a huge payday. If you have a good enough claim to send them to fuck the court, I believe you have a good enough claim to win this shit. And you could win far more than you could fucking lose. Public perception is everything, man. This is why I don't believe in due process. I don't believe in justice. I don't believe in any of that. I believe in whoever people pity, whoever they feel sorry for, they're going to win. because it's about sympathy. This is why you gotta make people seem human. Like, when you have terrible fucking people who are clearly guilty, you have to paint them as human. You have to paint them as a sympathetic figure to get the required result that you want. And pity, it goes a long way. I hate when people say, I don't want to be pitied. I hate when people say that, because you are more likely to get what it is you're after with pity than anything else, man. Like, you're more likely to get what you want, bro. It's sad that you got to use a tactic like that, but it's being used all the fucking time, especially in court cases. It's being used. It doesn't matter if you're guilty. It doesn't matter if you're innocent. What matters is what the jury thinks, what public reception thinks. That's what matters. So I don't understand, man. Why would they settle out of court? It doesn't make any sense. And nobody's asking that fucking question that I'm saying. Nobody that I'm seeing is asking that question. Why are they settling? If he clearly did this and he's this monster that y'all all are talking about, why are you settling? Go after it. Make him pay. Like, what the? It doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think is this is bullshit. This is some bullshit ploy. You mean to tell me this dude's been in Houston for like 5 years? 5 years. And he's assaulted over 20 women and nobody said anything. And let's just go off the imagination. Like, let's just imagine that Deshaun is actually guilty and he actually did this. I would think the organization is culpable because they had to know. But there is no fucking way a player does something on this scale and the organization knows nothing about it. That's bullshit. That knows nothing about it. I doubt that. Especially when it comes to your athlete. You know where they're getting massages from. You know if they have an outside personal trainer. This is why I don't believe the Antonio Brown thing. If they have an outside personal trainer, I'm pretty sure the organization knows about it, has had conversations with them. Shit, I mean, the player might even get the organization to pay the people to do whatever it is they're doing for their services, right? Whatever it is, lawyers, whatever it is, man. You mean to tell me the organization does not know about this? It's crazy. NFL teams are like the mafia, bro. They got their hands in every fucking thing. They got their hands in everything. You mean to tell me they knew nothing about this? And another organization that's culpable in this situation, if Deshaun did this, is the massage parlor or the massage agency, whoever because I don't think this dude is getting over 20 different women who are private masseuses. That'd just be fucking stupid. I mean, whatever you do as a professional athlete should be done. Like, everything should have a contract linked to it. Just in case some shit goes down, I mean, you can protect yourself somehow. Instead of, dealing with family, friends, and like, you can't trust people like that. You can't trust them. You got to keep everything above board, man. So I'm hoping that he used some kind of agency or something. And if he did use some kind of agency, they're culpable. The organization is culpable, Deshaun's culpable, and the masseuse agency is culpable. I mean, come on, bruh. Come on. I don't believe this. And this really feels like nothing but a character assassination. Okay? Roger Goodell makes way too many mistakes, man. I don't know what it is that he has on somebody, but for him to get this job, make a huge mistake when it came to the Bounty Gate situation, then make a huge mistake when it came to the Tom Brady situation, then, I mean, he's pretty much fumbling the bag all over the goddamn place. Like, he's making mistakes after mistakes, and you can't have somebody who's supposed to be the sheriff of your league, man. The sheriff of your league, a multi-billion-dollar corporation or I don't know, man, organization, whatever. Like, to have somebody in charge of the way this shit is supposed to run, which he works for the owners. So, I mean, I don't see why, like, if this dude keeps making fucking mistakes like this, why do they have him there? It's just a bad look for the league, man. It's a bad look. And, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know why they care so much about what the fuck women think. I mean, and I'm pretty sure this is why this is being a thing, man. It's because it's a play to save their image because of women. Like, women don't even watch your fucking league, bro. Like, I'm not saying no woman watches the league, but a majority of them don't give a fuck about the NFL. You know, they're not out there buying your products. They're not out there, you know, purchasing shit, going to games regularly. They're not putting money steadily in your pocket like your male, like your male customers are. It's the same way I feel about wrestling. Why are you marketing so much to fucking children when kids are not buying your shit? The adults are. Now, granted, a lot of them are buying them for the kids, but adults are still, there are a lot of adults who still support these organizations, these professional leagues, or these professional organizations. Adults that still love this shit, still watch this shit. And they're putting their money into it. I mean, I would think that your base would be predominantly who's buying your products. That's who you market for. And for some reason, man, the NFL keeps bending the knee to these women. And I'm not saying, look, man, I'm not saying that they shouldn't take into account of what's happening to these women, and they should just ignore it like it doesn't fucking matter. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it's getting out of hand. Where now you have these far-fetched situations where now you're protecting a certain group against your players who are making you fucking money. If I'm the players, bro, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I'd rather take my money that I have and go to fuck home. All the star players, just go to fuck home. Black athletes, go to fuck home, man. Just take your money, retire, and fucking leave. I'm pretty sure it's $40, $50, $60 million is enough to last you for a very long time if you invest it right and you spend your money right. I'm pretty sure that's enough to get you. But see, black motherfuckers, man, they are too perky nippled about money, man. Like, anytime somebody offered them any kind of compensation, bruh, I mean, they ears go up like fucking hounds, man. It's sad, bruh. It's sad. It's sad, man. And money should never control your ethics or your principles to the point where you're willing to abandon them. You're willing to abandon them to make some money, man. To make some fucking money. Black dudes have been under attack for a very long time, and now it's getting readily apparent, man. Readily apparent. Ray Lewis, Marvin Harrison both were accused of murder. And they're not being raked across the coals like this. And I would think murder is either just as serious as sexual assault, if not more serious than sexual assault. You're talking about taking the lives of people. Like, that, I would think that's a pretty serious, pretty egregious thing. And that's not a slight on Ray Lewis or Marvin Harrison, who both went on to have amazing careers. But I mean, if they can get out of that shit without people branding them as fucking monsters, I would think that, you know, at some point, look, he took the 6-game suspension. Leave it the fuck at that. Calling this dude predatory and trying to get him thrown out for a fucking year is ridiculous, man. But that's just my opinion, man. I don't know, man. I'm tired of seeing these young brothers, man, due to their poor decision making, get lambasted like they are, man. Like, they're getting fucking destroyed out here, man. And that's it, man. That's it. This is sad, bro. At some point, black men gotta wake up and ask themselves: is this worth it, man? Is the rat race worth it? Is giving my life to an ideal worth it? Because I don't think it is, man. I don't think it is for anybody, not just black men, anybody, bro. Like, money should not be worth more than your dignity or your self-respect. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I guess this is something that Deshaun has to work his way through, just like Kyler, you know. Apparently he signed the contract before they removed the clause. I'm hoping that he convinced them to remove the clause, and in agreement he agreed to sign the contract, you know, and then they would later on revise it to remove. I'm hoping that's the way it is. I'm hoping Kyler spoke up for himself, and from what I saw, it looked like he did, man. I mean, it's bad enough that, you know, you're a product, you're an inventory, you're a piece of an inventory. Nothing more than that in the eyes of some people. So the only person that's going to have any sort of respect towards you as a human being, it has to be you. And if you're willing to sacrifice or give up your identity and become nothing more than just a number like fucking like a box of cereal, then I mean, shit, like humanity is dead, man. Like we're all fucking dead. We're nothing more than just products. But I went on that little rant, man, because this has just been weighing on my mind, man. Every time, bruh. I can't watch nothing sports related without Deshaun Watson's name coming up, and then them trying to kill his character, trying to kill his image, trying to kill who he is, bruh. His face, trying to kill him. And it's sad, man. And Deshaun has been one of the more, I guess, image-friendly, media-friendly people outside of football in the league, man. When you got a league full of narcissists, bruh, he's been one of those guys that is able to keep his shit together. Until this, apparently. But that's it, man. I'm done. No more. I'm done. All right.